One of the people who was there and has a commitment, an ongoing commitment to document the plight of major displaced populations all around the world, noted photojournalist Peter Turnley, spending a great deal of time in Haiti after that earthquake. He joins us now live from our CNN studios in New York. Peter, great to have you with us. And I want to show our viewers some of the photos that you took there. It was just a couple of weeks after the earthquake hit, when you really looked into the eyes, into the soul of the people of Haiti. What do you remember about those?
What I remember was it was a time when it seemed to me that the country and the people were between death and life. There had been such an amazing and huge and horrible, massive number of people that had perished. And at the same time, a couple weeks after this earthquake, the people that survived were still grieving the death of their loved ones, but they were having to begin to confront and think about the notion of going on with their own lives and how to live. It was a very sort of the beginning of, it seemed to me to be a beginning of a second phase of this disaster.
A lot of the people at that point in time had nothing. They were sleeping in the streets. They were, trying to bury their dead, yes, but they were also trying to fend for themselves.
I was struck by the amazing resilience and strength and courage of so many people. I was also blown away by the quantity of people from overseas and from all over the world, doctors, nurses, aid workers that had arrived to do something good and decent. I do recall also amazing juxtapositions of being in cemeteries and watching families bury their dead, and then 30 minutes later being in a hospital in a maternity ward watching a mother hold a baby that had just been delivered literally 2 minutes before.
Does it surprise you that for some of these people, there's a man in a morgue, and I know there's a story that goes with him. He was looking for family members, wasn't he?
This was a man who had been looking for his dead son, his son. He wasn't even sure, in fact, that his son was deceased. He couldn't find him. He hadn't been able to find him for days. And what struck me was that, and I had seen this in other places of major disasters, that often not only do people have to suffer the incredible hardship of what they've gone through themselves, but then on top of it, they have to continue to grieve and look for their loved ones and have to look into the face of death and misery and hardship directly, like this man had done in this morgue.
Are you shocked, surprised that 6 months later, so many of the people are living just as they were in your photographs there shortly after this earthquake? They have no permanent homes. There's no government assistance. Only 10% of the assistance promised has actually been delivered.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm shocked. What I do feel, though, is a tremendous sense of frustration for the population of Haiti. This corresponds to a fear that I believe that many people had, that there would be a very strong initial outpouring of support and aid and thought, but that as time would go forward, that the conditions would not change quickly. I recall after a major earthquake in Armenia in 1988 that I went back. I was one of the first journalists there at that time, an earthquake where 35,000 people had perished. And I went back a year later, and I remember being incredibly surprised and struck by how much so little had changed.
So little has changed. The people of Haiti, long suffering. So many people actually saw this earthquake as a chance to rebuild the country in an entirely new image. And it's something I think the people of Haiti wanted.
Well, I think that it in many ways, it is incumbent upon journalists, aid workers, people working in humanitarian organizations, the world in general, that we all strive to try to get beyond what is the fear of a sort of compassion fatigue, and to continue to come back to dynamics in our world where people are suffering, where their plight remains difficult, and to keep attention on the suffering of human beings, and for everyone to try to remember what they have and what others don't have.
Peter Turnley with some important words there as we remember all this week. Haiti, 6 months later. Peter, thank you very much, friend.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.